Thank you everybody for joining us for this year's Global Entrepreneurship Week 2021. The activities are actually the entire week of November 8th through 14th. My name is Nikki Cabus and I'm the Interim CEO of Tech Hub South Florida. And we're really happy to present to you today Junior Achievement South Florida in particular, that we have a very great relationship with. They are actually an organization that is surrounding K through 12 entrepreneurship programs here in South Florida. So I'm going to pass it over really quickly to Martha Rios, who works at Junior Achievement, to give us a little brief overview of the organization, and then we will meet our panelists this morning.
Thank you, Nikki. Very excited to be here today with you and our alum. Junior Achievement is a nonprofit organization that has been around for 100 years, and our three pillars consist of entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness programs for students from K through 12. And today, we're very proud to showcase a few of our JA Fellows alum who will share their experience with you all. Back to you, Nikki.
Perfect. Thank you, Martha. And to get us started here, before I get straight into the Q&A, is if I could have each of our panelists, our student panelists, just introduce yourself and tell us really briefly your name and what program you went through with Junior Achievement. And I'm going to call on you first, Isaac.
Hi, I'm Isaac Hetzroni, and I went through the Junior Achievement Fellows Program.
Awesome. Irlanda?
Hi, my name is Irlanda Velazquez, and I participated in the JA Fellows program.
Wonderful. And Huguette?
Hi, everyone. My name is Huguette St. Hubert. I participated in the JA Career Bound program.
Perfect. So our first question, and this is for all of our panelists, is if you could share with us your experience going through the Junior Achievement program that you participated in, and kind of tell us a little bit about what you did in that program.
Yeah, sure. I can go first.
Sure.
My program, got to start a company with a bunch of my classmates. I started a company called FitKit. The idea was it was very hard for a lot of big health food companies to be able to market their foods. So we were able to go and consolidate all of their samples and then create healthy kits to be able to go and sell to students, use for fundraisers. It was a really fantastic experience, not only to make money, but lead a whole entire team. And then I was able to go compete at the national level for Junior Achievement. Honestly, made some friends at that competition that I'm still friends with today, 5-6 years later, and it really led to a great trajectory afterwards. So.
So it was really awesome too that you've made some friends. I was going to say, hopefully those are lifelong friends that you made as well. Irlanda, did you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So the company that my team and I created last year was called GradeUps, and it was basically an online tutoring service that proposed a solution to the students that had difficulty learning in online school, because that was the year that COVID had struck. So I was basically the vice president of the customer support team at GradeUps, and I was responsible for making sure that the users had a high quality experience with us. So this included incorporating podcasts that explained the material to students, as well as adding calming music to the website for students to focus and relax while doing their schoolwork. So yeah, this was a website and it was a nonprofit. So it was just a service that Broward County students could use if they needed help with their homework or anything like that.
That's very cool. That's awesome. And very proud of you for doing it in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm sure it made it a little bit harder, but I'm sure you also gained some additional skills through that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Huguette, if you'd like to go next.
Sure. I'm a little different. I participated through JA Career Bound, which is a program that helped young people get ready for the workforce. So it was an 8-month-long program where I learned the different hard and soft skills necessary to succeed in the workforce. And at the end of that program, I was able to secure a paid internship with my previous job, SOS Children's Villages, where I applied those skills that I learned, such as leadership, critical thinking, problem solving, and much more through hands-on practice over there. And I must say that I met through a lot of great professionals, and I made a lot of awesome connections. And I'm super grateful to Junior Achievement for these amazing opportunities. And now I still connect through a great internship opportunity that I have through with Tech Hub South Florida. And I must say, without Junior Achievement, I would never make this awesome connection and hold an intern position here at Tech Hub.
Yes, we forgot to mention that at the beginning, Huguette, is your internship with us. I don't know what I'd do without you. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Martha.
Sounds great. It just gives me goosebumps to listen to all of you students. I'm so very proud. So tell us, what are your main takeaways from the program that you participated in? Would you share just a little bit about that? And we can start with Isaac.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the main takeaways for me was try to get to revenue as fast as possible. A lot of times you can get really, hung up on that idea and you think you have to, raise a ton of money, but us getting to actually selling the product helped us understand what do the customers actually want, what does the supply chain actually look like once it's flowing, and helped us not only, change about halfway through the program, not only change our product offering, but also change our supply chain, which is what ultimately made the product a success. And then I think that if a lot more people utilize that revenue fast model, it might, help make a lot more businesses profitable in the long run.
That makes sense. Irlanda, what about you?
So the main takeaway that I had was that it's very important to communicate with the rest of your teammates, because one person alone can't do this. It's way too much of a big task for them to handle. So you have to divide the work evenly between everyone and make sure that everyone is doing their part, because if one team isn't doing their part of it, it'll just drag down the whole company, and you guys won't succeed as much as other companies that are working together. Yeah, definitely communicate. And if say you have an idea that you think might be good to incorporate into the company, don't be afraid to speak about it and tell your teammates hey, I have a great idea, because you never know, they might agree with you and it might actually go really well with your product or your service, whatever it is that you created. So yeah, for sure, communication is a big takeaway that I got from this. Never be afraid to communicate and just, communication.
Absolutely. In every step of the way and in your entire life, personal and professional communication is the key. Yeah. Huguette, what about you? Share with us a few takeaways from your program.
Well, my main takeaways were to always be open-minded and seek new opportunities. Looking back, I never was the person who would say, yes, I want to explore, I want to learn more. But after going through the JA programs, I've seen how important it is to say yes to certain things and explore, because you learned so much, and what you learn is what will benefit me in my personal and professional life.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Martha, I'm hearing a lot of face your fears in all these comments.
Yeah. I agree with you, Nikki. So let me now ask you three amazing people, how did JA impact, or if it didn't, your future career choices? And tell us a little bit about that. Isaac?
Yeah, sure. So a few months after the JA Fellows program ended, I started a company called Imprint Genius, and we are a sourcing and merchandising company. And I feel like without the Junior Achievement Fellowship, I really would have been kind of lost. But the program gave me not only the experience, but also the confidence to say, no, I can go and build a company and run a team and get customers. And, now 5 years later, we have, good sized team. I'm able to have my own business, graduate college, have my own business that I'm proud of and I'm running. And I think that the fellowship's an amazing program to, give people the confidence to do it themselves.
Absolutely. What about you, Irlanda? What are your future plans? I know you're still in high school, but
yeah,
your plans changed after the program, maybe.
Yeah, before I worked with JA, I wasn't really open to the idea of entrepreneurship. I mainly joined the program just to learn the skills, because I know that through JA you do learn life skills, like basic life skills that will be very useful in any job that you go into. But after the JA fellows program, I kind of like, it opened my eyes to what entrepreneurship really is, and it does definitely interest me. And it's a career choice that I am considering now, especially since like I gained a lot of like skills through the program. So now I know if I do want to go into entrepreneurship, I know how to handle a business and all the aspects of it. So that's how it helped me.
Sounds good. Huguette, tell us about your career choices before and after JA.
Well, I always knew that I wanted to pursue something in the medical field, but I never really knew what exactly I wanted to pursue. But after going through the JA program's Career Bound, I realized that I want to help people and give back to my community. And I can do that through the medical field. But after working with SOS, I've seen how children are impactful in this community. I decided that I want to pursue a career in pediatrics and work with children. And now with Tech Hub, I'm learning about how technology is impacting our community and how technology is advancing, especially in the medical field. So I look forward to working with the different new advances that the medical field will have by the time I graduate med school, and see how those things will impact patients and improve the medical field.
Thanks for sharing that, Huguette. So I have one follow-up question, if I may. Isaac, you mentioned that you started your business 6 months after finishing your JA Fellows program. And I clearly remember you and your team in Washington, D.C. participating and bringing us back. I don't remember if it was first or second place, but I clearly remember all of you. And you started your company right after. Any tips, best practices, advice, or skills that you acquired through the program that you are now putting into practice in your own business? And I read a 700% year-over-year growth. So please tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, thank you, Martha. So, as for the growth, we were able to, I think let's talk about earlier how it's always important to continually innovate with your product. So for us, COVID hit. It was a huge issue within the entire industry, merchandising industry, and so our entire industry was plummeting. And I decided that how can we take this and make it a positive? And we saw that with all these people working from home, there needed to be a digital online solution, not only produce merchandise but also distribute it to millions and millions of people that are working from home, as well as give them a choice to pick whatever merchandise they want to feel more connected with the actual company. So we went, built that technology, and that's what helped us grow so much over the last year. So I think that adaptation piece was really helpful. And then I guess just like overall tips is start as early as you can, right? So starting in high school is fantastic. Start your venture in college if you can. You have really low risk, you have tons of resources, and if you do it right and you really work hard at it, you can ideally graduate and then continue doing it full time after. So
that's awesome.
Thank you, Isaac. Back to Nikki now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really just excited by listening to all of your stories and all the experiences that you guys have had. And I think, like I was saying earlier, is like one common theme is like I hear this like kind of face your fears thing, because I think what you were talking about, Isaac, early on, you were saying something about just like going to market, just push it out there, like, and it's almost that fear of things. We always try to do things perfectly before we kind of push them out, and like, hey, you need revenue to grow, right? So it's just pushing it out and making the changes as you go. In Irlanda, you were talking about even being able to speak up, right? Communication. I mean, communication, Martha said it perfectly earlier. Communication is key no matter what you do, whether you end up owning up a business, working for somebody else. I mean, it's always an important skill. And Huguette, I think just, with what you were saying also is like, you weren't sure what you wanted to do and you kind of went into totally two different companies between SOS and Tech Hub. They're very different, but kind of figuring out your way as you go and being very open-minded to new things. So I think there's a lot of like facing our fears and kind of figuring out as we go, which is what we all do as adults anyway. We don't know. We don't have a plan a lot of times, and we kind of just have to go with the role. But I did want to ask here. So, with all of you, you're all at different stages, right? All gone through different JA programs, but Irlanda, you're still in high school. Huguette recently graduated. Isaac, you have your own company. So what would each of you say from your own point of view and your own current experience, like to another student or young person that may be interested in entrepreneurship or maybe doesn't know what JA is? Like, what advice would you give them to somebody that is an inspiring entrepreneur? Whoever would like to go first, sorry.
I can go. I would tell them to be open-minded and network. That person that you meet on the sidewalk today might be your mentor tomorrow. You don't know, but always bring out a good impression, ask questions. It doesn't hurt to say hello and, follow up with a conversation, because that person can be your next successful individual, and that will make you successful as well.
I like it. Good one.
I can go next. So I think that the advice I would give to young entrepreneurs or anyone that's maybe not so sure if they're interested in entrepreneurship or even like to join JA is to just do it for the experience, because it won't hurt you. It's literally, it can't hurt you. It will only benefit you from there. So you will pick up on lots of different skills. And yeah, even if it's not something that you're not thinking of entrepreneurship. So like me, I wasn't thinking about it. You might find out that you actually do like it, and it might be something that you will want to pursue as a future career. So like Huguette said, definitely be open-minded. Always try to meet new people. And yeah, just definitely, if you want to do it, go for it. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to lose. It will only help you in the end.
Awesome. Very good advice.
And I can close things off, I guess. I would say that, it takes a lifetime to build up a reputation, but only 5 minutes to ruin it. So just try to be as honest and kind and giving as possible to other people, to your customers. Always try to add value and help other people. And, it's going to come back. It's going to come back and help you monetarily. It's going to open up doors in the future. And as long as you're pushing that positivity into the universe, to your customers, I promise you that the success will come.
That's awesome. Yeah. Are you sure you guys are all like 18, 20 something? I'm like, I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of wisdom coming out of you guys right now. I'm like, I think I could take all this advice myself. I do have to make a follow-up comment to you, Irlanda, that you said something that made me think is that for a lot of the students that maybe aren't sure about getting involved in junior achievement and said, well, I don't know if I want to own my own company, or I don't know about entrepreneurship, is that, you talked a lot about a lot of the skills that you take away from it anyway. And that maybe it'll open you up to a new way of thinking, or maybe you do want to become an entrepreneur, you just didn't know it. But also there's, I'm sure Martha knows this, but there's a new word that's kind of been popping up over the last few years, is intrapreneurship, where you might not want to own your own company, but maybe you run a department, or maybe there's a project that you take ownership over, like working for another company, and you can still kind of lead that. So I think a lot of the skills that are being taught through junior achievement programs are still very important, whether you are a leader in a company or you're a leader at your own company, I think are just equally as important. But I think to wrap us all up here, I would love, Martha, just to, ask you the question of like, what are the next steps for our South Florida tech community and our entrepreneurship community? Like, what can help us and keeping us to inspire like our next generation of entrepreneurs? Like, can you give us a little bit insight into that?
Absolutely, Nikki. And as you mentioned, this gives me goosebumps. Like I've seen all of these students going through JA programs, and now we interviewing them and getting this, feedback and these recommendations that, yes.
Coming full circle.
It's full circle, right? I love it. I love it. And I can't wait to keep this partnership going, Nikki. You said it very well. We, organizations in South Florida, need to partner up. We need to spread the word. South Florida is going to be the next Silicon Valley, right? Well, we are inspiring the next generation of entrepreneurs. And we have them in front of us. There's one already, he's not even 25 and he has a company for 5 years. Irlanda hasn't even graduated high school. Huguette is a JA ambassador for every one of our programs and has done such an amazing job. So all I can say is, Nikki, we have to keep up the work. You, me, and everyone at Tech Hub. We need subject matter experts to inspire our students. We need volunteers. All of the students had 3 or 4 volunteers help them throughout the entire year so that they could ask questions and get feedback from community members who are already out there. So Isaac, pretty soon I will be maybe contacting you for you to mentor our kids afterwards. So that's what basically we need. We need collaboration, we need communication, and I hope this is the first of many other events that we can put together in order to highlight the results of our hard work. These students are just 3 examples of the thousands of students that we inspire and train every year for them to be workforce ready or to be entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter which one they will be, but the entrepreneurial mindset that we are inspiring in them will help them no matter what they do later in life. So my hope is that more organizations, Junior Achievement and others here in South Florida will step up to the challenge and mentor the students, help us fundraise the funding that is needed to provide these programs that obviously have no cost to the students or the schools. And with that said, let's keep rolling, Nikki.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Martha. And for anybody that's watching this, I do want to say, to ditto what Martha was saying is definitely get involved. If you're a leader at a company, if you're a founder, if you're an entrepreneur, anybody that can take a little bit of time out of your day, it's not a huge commitment, but just to mentor the students, get involved, allowing them to hear from your personal experiences and give them a little bit of an insight into what you do every day will help, promote entrepreneurship and inspire our next, hopefully next startup founders here in South Florida. And then to anybody that's also watching that maybe is like, okay, I'm seeing this, but I'm not in South Florida. There's junior achievements all across the country. I mean, even here in South Florida, we've got 3. We've got Miami, the Junior Achievement South Florida, who we're talking to today, that is more Broward based. And then we do have one in Palm Beach County, Treasure Coast. So they're everywhere. Definitely check out the website. And then of course, if anybody's interested in learning more about Tech Hub and what we do in the tech community, please look at techhubsouthflorida.org. But yes, I just want to say thank you to Martha, Huguette, Isaac, Irlanda, everybody. I really appreciate you coming on with me today. And hopefully we have a bunch of people watching this, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of new volunteers and mentors for you, Martha.
A pleasure.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Nikki, for the opportunity. And thanks, Isaac, Irlanda, and Huguette.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Take care.